There is a new Subaru electric car, and look, it looks all right. It's a small electric SUV. Here are the details. Great to see you. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking, and thank you to our YouTube members for supporting the channel. If you can do so as well, I'll put a link in the description. Guys, there has been a coordinated hacking attempt from, I believe, people who don't like EVs. People are paying to hack this channel. And they're doing it. I've actually got a video up on how they're doing that. I'll put a link in the description below. But if you can actually just bookmark the channel and go back and check every day, I do have new videos coming up every day. People are just not getting them in their feed. So if you bookmark the channel and check it every day, or just type in the Electric Viking on your search function on your TV and just search it every day, you'll actually get to see the videos that I'm doing. So we've done more than 7,000. And every day I'm doing more, but people are saying I'm not getting to see them. It's because of this hacking that's going on. Subaru have a new EV. It's called Uncharted. It actually looks okay. It's not too bad, but here are the details. It's got a pretty decent sized battery pack for the size of the car. Unfortunately though, it is essentially a Toyota. It's built on Toyota's eTNGA platform. Personally, I would recommend to Subaru, if they want a manufacturer to make their cars for them, which is kind of what's happening here. Yes, it's a Toyota platform with Subaru parts and stuff, etc. But you could probably get a Chinese company to do that for you and do a better job of it. Provide you with an 800-volt platform, potentially 600 kilowatt charging, really good software, etc. But anyhow, Subaru have released this for the United States. So obviously they can't get a Chinese company to make it for the US. So, for that, in that perspective, it makes sense. It shares its underpinnings with a Toyota CHR, which is actually not too bad as well. The Uncharted uses Toyota's eTNGA platform, and all versions of the car use a 74.7, so let's just call it a 75 kilowatt hour lithium-ion battery, which is not a bad size for the size of the car. Subaru says that there's 3 versions for the American market. I don't know what the versions will be for other markets yet, but I'll tell you what I do know in a second. They are called, these options, premium front-wheel drive. Why they made it front-wheel drive, I don't know. Sport and GT. The entry-level model is, it's Subaru's first front-wheel drive vehicle that they've made in like 30 years. Anyway, strange. Plus, the Sport and GT use the company's symmetrical all-wheel drive system with X mode. Is this whole symmetrical all-wheel drive thing an advantage versus other companies? Or is it just fancy marketing, symmetrical? It means nothing. In fact, there's other EVs that have all-wheel drive that work just as well. Anyhow, the front-wheel drive model gets 221 horsepower, which is a fair bit of power for the front wheels, and it can do over 300 miles, say Subaru, on a single charge. So that's 492 kilometers. Considering the size of the car and the size of the battery, I'm going to guess range would be around 500 kilometers, probably about 305 miles. And Subaru says it will be only sold in limited quantities. Why? Why limited quantities? I don't know. Maybe they think that buyers would only want the all-wheel drive versions. Maybe they won't make any money off that car. Maybe Subaru and Toyota don't make any money off selling electric cars. They don't. Anyhow, the all-wheel drive models. So the all-wheel drive model, both of them get 338 horsepower, which is a fair bit of power. It's like more than 250, about 250 kilowatt. Range is 290 miles. That's 470 kilometers. And they'll do 0 to 100 in 5 seconds. So that's 0 to 96 kilometers an hour. So about 5.2 seconds, 0 to 62 miles an hour. Subaru says the Uncharted has impressive straight line ability. To be honest, that speed is par for the course for EVs these days. Great handling and really good grip on loose surfaces such as gravel, dirt, or snow. And it does look a little bit more, looks better than the Toyota CHR on which it's actually based. It's got more of a rugged looking look to it. And I mean, let's be honest, that's part of the car, isn't it? The way it looks sometimes is the way it makes you feel. Gives you that, if it gives you the impression it's better off-road, it might be better off-road. It might make you more confident. Anyhow, front and rear bumpers I think they look nice. And apparently you can get it with either 18 or 20-inch wheels. I believe the 20-inch wheels come on the most expensive model, which will probably in the real world get less range than the other model. Charging speed. Well, first of all, they get a NACS charging port in the United States, CCS2 outside of the US, and charging speed is 150 kilowatt, which is not great. It's okay, but it's sort of middle of the range, I guess you could say. You do get a pretty decent onboard AC charger though. It's an 11 kilowatt charger AC. And Subaru says it includes a battery preconditioning system. The battery can be charged from 10 to 80% in 30 minutes, which is okay. Not great, but it's not bad. In terms of the interior, guys, I think it looks kind of busy. I think it looks a bit odd. There's sort of a hexagonal shaped driver screen in front of the driver. And then I think it's good that you have the media screen, right, with buttons underneath it, but integrating the buttons into the media screen, it's a very Toyota thing, and I think it looks really cheap. I'm not sure why Toyota do that. It looks to me, it looks very aftermarket. When I was just in Indonesia, I saw this a lot in cars there. They integrate all the buttons into the screen. It just looks like something that Toyota purchased on AliExpress. That's my impression. And the plastics in the car look very grey, sort of scratchy grey looking. Now, I don't think in real life they're going to look what they look like. They're going to be what they look like, but they do look scratchy and kind of, I don't know, austere, sort of budget. But you know what? It's probably got a good interior. This is just my impression. I can see that there's 2 spots for charging as well. So there's 2 wireless charging spots, which is a good feature. Some cars only have 1. I like that idea. I mean, for example, the Porsche Macan Turbo EV, which I was just test driving, they're worth about $200,000 in Australia, just had the 1 charging port. So it's a good feature to have 2. Now, there is a 14-inch infotainment screen, but it doesn't really look that big. It looks quite, it's a horizontal screen that looks fairly narrow. So probably a slight disadvantage in terms of practicality. I really like the bigger screens that you get in a Tesla or an Xpeng, where you can really see a lot when you're driving in a city. It really helps me personally when I'm completely unsure of this. Like, for example, driving in Sydney can sometimes be a bit intimidating. If you can see a big map showing everything, I think it's a good feature. So the screen's a little small, but other than that, not bad looking on the inside. The specs are pretty good. Apparently, the price is going to be low to mid 30,000s. That's what I'm hearing. Low to mid 30,000s. So for that price, this does seem to be a decent car. Now, the question is, when is this car coming to market? Well, apparently, Subaru says it'll go on sale in the United States in early 2026 alongside the Trail Seeker. Pricing and full specifications, we still don't know the full details. The model, it hasn't been confirmed for Australia or right-hand drive markets or the UK, but I do believe this will be sold in those markets. Places where Subaru sells cars and it's a significant market, important market for Subaru. I do believe that they will go on sale in those markets as well. Now, guys, in terms of the range figures that I mentioned earlier, those were EPA range figures. I think if you look at the actual WLTP range is actually really good for the front-wheel drive version of the Toyota version of this car. It's actually 600 kilometers WLTP. That's likely to be the range you're going to get from the front-wheel drive version of this car. Probably about 550 kilometers WLTP from the all-wheel drive version. So that's pretty good range. I guess the 150 kilowatt charging, it's not amazing. It's not terrible. But if you've got that kind of range, if you've got 600 kilometers of range, it probably doesn't matter quite as much. So how big is this car? Well, apparently dimensions are pretty close to the CHR Plus, which, I mean, it's basically the same car. But yeah, anyway, Toyota CHR Plus. And that is 4.5 meters long. So 4,520 millimeters, 1,870 millimeters wide, and 1,595 millimeters tall. Wheelbase, 2,750 millimeters. To give you some context, similar size to a Mazda CX-5, slightly bigger than, about the same size as a BYD Atto 3. Slightly smaller than a Geely EX5. Anyway, trying to give you guys some ideas on how this compares to other cars in terms of size. If you're comparing it to, say, an Xpeng G6 Tesla Model Y, those are bigger cars, one size up. Then a Zeekr 7X is a little bit bigger again. So it gives you an idea on how you can compare them. So what's Subaru's future? Well, Subaru announced plans in 2023 to have 4 electric SUVs by 2026 and another 4 EVs due by 2028. So they're saying that by 2028, they're going to have 8 different models of electric cars, and that electric cars will account for 50% of their global sales by 2030. Global sales, what are they? Well, they're selling about 1.2 million cars annually at this point in time. So 600,000 of their 1.2 million sales, assuming they can keep selling 1.2 million cars a year, would be fully electric, 600,000. The chances of Subaru selling 1.2 million cars in 2030, in my opinion, are about 1 in a billion. Subaru being disrupted by Chinese car companies. There's just nothing they can do about it. This is the future. Remember, Chinese car brands have better technology than this, significantly better, much faster charging, much faster charging. I mean, there's many models that you can get now that have more than 400 kilowatt charging for this price, more range, better platforms, better software, and they're willing to sell at lower prices. So there's nothing you can do. It's a decent car, and I think it's going to sell all right, particularly in the United States where you can't buy yet Chinese electric cars. Thanks for your support, and I appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.